Good morning, this is John Knight with a quick explanation of a different Indigenous family structure, comparing it to a standard Western family structure. I'm delivering this material on Irukandji and Yidinji land up in Cairns with the Gimoi mob. I therefore acknowledge elders past, present and emerging, and as such I'm a guest on country and therefore promise to conduct myself as a guest on country with all due respects being paid. So into the content, I just want to talk about, to start with, the Indigenous family structure. So I'm going to start with me, and then I'm going to go to my sisters. So I've got 4 older sisters, and I have mum and dad here. And then they had parents, so mum and dad, grandma Knight, granddad Knight, father McCrory, ma McCrory. Mum had 1 brother, Uncle Les. Dad had 3 brothers, Uncle Bernard, Uncle Paul, Uncle Phil and Auntie Mari. And on Dad's side, we don't know much about his side of thing because he ran away from England some time ago, but that's another story. Let's now talk about cousins. So, mum and dad had 5 kids. Look, I've left me out. Something of the afterthought. Uncle Les had 1, 2, 3, 4 children. So I've got 4 maternal cousins. Uncle Phil, no kids. Auntie Mari, no kids. Uncle Paul had 3 cousins, had 3 children. And Uncle Bernard had 2, so I've got 5 paternal cousins and 4 maternal cousins. And we all recognise each other as cousins. But in an Indigenous model, firstly, all of these cousins are now brothers and sisters, not cousins. Their children become cousins. So what a Western family would consider second cousins, we consider cousins. Or children, depending on how it goes. But watch how this goes up. So for me, as a boy child, if this was an Indigenous family structure, my father's brothers are not uncles but fathers. Okay, so I've got now 1, 2, 3, 4 dads. But my mother's brother is an uncle. If my mother had a sister, she is an auntie. Where my dad has a sister, she is an auntie to me because I'm a boy child. But everyone here is a brother and sister. So we go here. What about my sisters, for the girl children? Well, for girl children, all of my father's brothers and sisters are uncles and aunts. And my mother's brother is an uncle. But for my sisters, if my mum had a sister, she would have been called a mum. So for girls, your mother's sisters are mothers. For a boy, your father's brothers are fathers. Now, to give you an idea of how complex this can get when you get large numbers of people in the structure, which immediately you do if all of a sudden I've got this number of brothers and sisters instead of cousins. To give you an idea, one of the anomalies or one of the interesting parts of life is that I have there's a member of my wife's family who refers to me as Dad and will call me nothing other than Dad, never anything else, out of respect and as a means of maintaining the culture and the heritage. He's 2 years my junior. Right, biologically impossible, culturally expected. I have nephews who are 20 years my senior, and I'm expected to call them boy when they're an elder, and they're expected to call me awa, which means uncle. And I have uncles who are 20 years my junior, and I'm expected to allow them to call me boy, and I have to call them awa. In some cultures, when you're related to someone, you may never use their name. So you refer to them by their position in the family. But this is getting way beyond the course. All I want to point out to you, and the purpose of this lesson, is that if you're dealing with people from a different culture, in particularly our First Nations Australian peoples, they will have a different family structure. And so when it comes to taking a will and you're questioning them about who, be on your toes, or it's a very big trap for young players. I hope this has been of help. Again, I've been recording this up on Yidinji and Irukandji land. So thank you for your time and trouble. Take care, John. Bye now.